Hello and welcome back to Fire Emblem. So, we have a bunch of supports to do. Once we've done those supports, we're going to go jump into the calendar, where we're going to go and do an explore and basically go and talk to everybody. Then we're probably going to do another 2 explores. There's a chance that we might do a battle, depending on where things are lining up. If we end up with the situation where we have one person who we need everybody to get supports with, I think battles are more ideal for that, because you can have one person as an adjutant, or even put them in combat, surround them with people, and then attack, and then you'll get all of the supports up. Or you can delay combat with like stick somebody over the side, take off their weapons, punch and heal, and then have everybody just use rally on them or something. But hey, I don't want to do that. I just want to get the supports a less cheesy way. But the first support we're going to do is Lysithea and Balthus, because this is the last of the DLC supports. Well, that's not 100% true. I think that Yuri has a support with Claude or something, or no, Balthus has a support with Claude, which would therefore be a support one we haven't done, and Constance has the final one with Edelgard. But you know, for our purposes, it's the last one. So, Lysithea, Balthus, let's go.
Little Lysithea, these ears miss nothing, you know.
What are you on about this time?
Is it true that Count Ordelia plans to relinquish his title eventually?
Yes, but why are you asking?
I approve, that's all. Throwing off the shackles of nobility to live freely, it's a beautiful thing.
I would ask that you refrain from painting them with the same brushstrokes that you so liberally paint yourself with. My mother and father will carry on with all the associated duties befitting of nobles. Only after that will they retire.
Got it. And that's completely different from someone like me who tapped out of the nobility game, right? Your parents are exemplary nobles, that's for sure. I respect that you support them as much as you do.
Would you just stop? You're embarrassing me.
Can't be helped. Meant every word. If anyone should have red cheeks, it's me, given the choices I've made.
I'm sure you had your reasons.
Of course. Still, it is a bit cowardly of me not to stand up to my family a bit more. Honestly, it's since getting to know you that I've started thinking along those lines. One day soon I'll return to that house. My reception will be chilly at best. Still, it must be done.
So is this the only one of his that we've had so far where he's like, I'm going to return to my house and, take up some of the responsibilities that I've left behind? Because that's kind of an interesting turn.
My house is full of lowlifes. But it also has my little bro who took over when I left. He's good people. Even with the difficulties in Leicester, our house is still going strong. That's his doing. That's why I've decided that it's time to talk to him about what can be done to help Count Ordelia.
Repaying your perceived debt would be nice, sure. But it sounds like you intend to foist your responsibility onto your little brother.
Ah, but the two aren't related. This is just the right thing to do. I'm still pondering how best to fulfill my vow.
Uh-huh.
Well, you don't believe me, do you, little lady?
Just what exactly are you planning on in terms of this repayment?
After your family relinquishes their noble titles, I'll support them so that you can all live in peace.
Even though you're a lowlife?
That may be true, and it is, but consider this. I've seen life from both sides, as a noble and a vagabond. When their situation changes, they'll face new challenges. I'm the perfect guy to help them through.
You're irresponsible and unreliable. But clearly, you're not a bad person. And your support would be most appreciated. Just so you're aware, however, we have no means with which to pay you. So, are you sure you're still willing to follow through with this?
I wasn't planning on doing this for a payout, but if you really insisted on a thank you gift, well, you could always accept me into your family. Then paying me wouldn't be a consideration.
Oh my.
Excuse me? Just what are you insinuating?
Don't think too hard about it just yet. I still have lots of debts to pay and affairs to settle. In the meantime, let's just stick close together. Yeah?
A little bit of an out of the blue proposal, but there you go. It's the little lady and the big man. Alright, now we have Shamir and Catherine's final one. I'm interested to see where this one goes.
You're safe. I'm so relieved.
I was just on a mission. What's gotten into you?
I'm sorry. I've been thinking about the last time we talked. About our paths diverging. I've been a little afraid since then. Afraid that you might quit the Knights.
The terrible Thunder Catherine. Afraid? I thought you weren't afraid of anything.
I kinda thought so too. I realized that I might actually lose you someday, and that's scarier than I expected. I've never felt this way about anyone other than Lady Rhea.
You seem very passionate about this.
I guess so. I have many brothers and sisters in arms, but you're my only partner. I know you have my back, so I can focus on the battle in front of me.
I see. Catherine, I have to tell you something. I lost my first partner, which is why I can make no guarantees that this will last forever. But I want you to know, there's no one I would rather have at my side. I could never sever my bond with you. If there ever comes a day when our paths do diverge, know that I'll always be with you.
Thank you. I lost someone too. I thought we'd be together forever, but our lives went in different directions. Relationships are so fragile.
Of course. But that's enough of that. I can't stand any more of your vulnerable side.
Ah, sorry, partner. Hope I didn't worry you. I lost hold of myself there.
No need to apologize. It's what partners are for. If you'd like, we can start planning our next move.
Next move? What do you mean?
We can wed if you're that worried about losing me. Though, I may tire of your company. You look a bit red. What's the matter, partner?
That was just unexpected. If you'll excuse me, I need some fresh air.
Let's go for Catherine and Lysithea.
It was so sunny this morning, but now it's absolutely pouring.
Did you hear the thunder just now? Good thing we got all the clothes indoors before the skies opened up. I apologize for troubling you with this task.
Don't worry about it. I was just passing by and thought I could help. I know how frustrating it is to have your newly dried clothes soaked by rain.
Oh.
What's wrong? We managed to keep all of the clothes dry, didn't we?
It's just odd. Every time it's my turn to wash the clothing, there's a sudden downpour. Surely it must just be an inconvenient coincidence. But I can't help feeling as though I'm somehow to blame for it.
Ah, I see. That probably is your fault.
Wow, you're even harsher than I am.
You have a crest of Karen, don't you?
I do, yes, but... Hold on a moment. How did you know that?
That's a good question, because she does have two crests.
I can just tell. I have a crest of Karen too. And I've noticed that, whenever I need dry weather, there's rain. Don't you think it's our crests making the rain fall upon us?
How had I never connected this? This is quite a revelation. A crest affecting the weather.
Yeah, that is kind of huge, in a way. Like, it shows the power of crests is like a next level up. It's affecting the world around them, rather than just the individual. Interesting. I wonder if there are any other circumstances where we've seen that.
Well, I don't know how true it is.
Oh, well, it might not be true, so there we go.
There are only the two of us, which is a pretty small sample of people.
I suppose that's true. So, we must test our hypothesis. Maybe we can find someone who tends to bring the sunshine around. That would be especially handy for helping out with the wash.
Now there's an idea.
I love how low stakes it is, because it's a sea-level support. It's like, maybe we can get the washing done more efficiently. It's like, alright then. Catherine, Lorenz, this can't be good.
Your swordplay is captivating, exceedingly graceful, yet mindful to guard the weaknesses that often accompany such elegant flourishes.
Lorenz, are you spying on me? That's not very noble.
It was rude of me to watch so long in silence, I do confess. yet I could not bring myself to interrupt. I believe that such a deep grasp of swordplay can only mean that you have experienced the privilege of a noble birth.
You just don't let up. I didn't inherit my sword skills, Lorenz. I trained. I earned them.
One's lineage does not affect one's talent or tenacity, to be sure. But a noble is raised in an environment more conducive to the honing of martial skill. Those brought up in the lap of luxury are blessed with a far wider variety of options for their futures. And a noble raised in that fashion is better equipped to keep the peace for the common folk.
Sure. And besides keeping the peace, what are the nobility's other duties?
Matters of state for a start. A noble has the ability to declare war, for instance. A commoner does not. And a noble who carries the blessing of a crest has even more power. One move from such an individual can exert massive influence.
Even change the weather.
Of course, such influence must only be wielded with discretion. It is a noble's duty to use power wisely.
Whether or not it's their duty, if they don't use their power wisely, the people will revolt.
Whether or not, get it? Not a pun, but, you know, that's all I could hear in my mind.
Indeed. The motivation to revolt can only come from discontent with the nobility. But if the people are well protected and enjoy peaceful and happy lives, there is no such motive. Thus, if such a revolt does occur, the nobility must be held accountable.
The nobility must be held accountable, I never thought I'd find myself agreeing with you. Maybe you're not as bad as I thought. In fact, I'll let you in on a secret.
Oh, we already know it, but sure.
I am from a noble family, House Karen of Fargus. I used to be known as Cassandra Rubens Karen. Perhaps you've heard that name before?
House Karen? It cannot be! Are you the one who was driven from Fargus for some grave crime?
So people say. However, I didn't do anything wrong. Anyway, how do you rate me now? On one hand, I am a noble, but I'm also a fugitive.
I see. Well then, will you do me the honor of a bout?
Ha! So you'd like to suss me out with your sword? Sure, I'll take you on.
Okay, so we'll find out what happens in their B levels. So the C level support, but A level support. But that's interesting. Okay, so she's revealed a secret to him. Lorenz has got a very different tone on this one. He is doing lots of compliments, but it's more his investigating, and I think that's a cool side of him that we don't see in a lot of the other ones. Like, you definitely don't see that in Lorenz and, I don't know, Dorothea, for instance. Anyway, it's Manuela and Lorenz. I would almost definitely say that we're not going to see that side of him in this one, but let's see.
Lorenz, do you have a moment to spare, my dear?
Hello, Professor Manuela. I trust all is well with you.
I am quite well, thank you for asking. You are always such a gentleman.
Thank you for saying so. How may I be of service?
I was wondering if we might spend a little time together, maybe chat a bit?
Certainly. It is an honor to speak with someone as elegant as yourself. I've just made tea. Would you like a cup?
Oh, that would be just lovely. Lorenz, I hope you won't think it too forward of me, but I was wondering if you could explain a poem to me. It goes like this. Verdant rains soothe my aching heart like a cherished friend. Amid time's flow I mourn, bonds I'm not sure I can ever rend. As my mind clings to desperate thoughts, here it comes, horsebow moon and summer's end.
Oh, that's my poem.
Oh, we are getting to see a different side of him.
As I suspected, I've checked absolutely everyone's handwriting. It's a sad poem, though, isn't it? Feels lonely, possibly even, dare I say, defeated. What makes you feel that way, Lorenz? Why aren't you happy? I very much want to know.
Well, I suppose Wait, why are you reading my poetry? Where did you even get that?
I found it, and when I saw the words, I read them. Well, that's what people do when they see words. They read them.
Kindly return that at once. Reading someone else's work without permission, what an egregious breach of etiquette. Honestly.
Oh, dear. Snatching at something someone else is holding. How violent. It's not like you to lose your composure, Lorenz.
Please, just forget you ever saw it. I beg you.
I'm afraid I could never forget that peek into the darkness of your soul. Nor would I want to.
Then at the very least, would you kindly promise not to mention it to anyone else?
Don't feel embarrassed. No, be proud. It's a lovely piece of writing. Quite revealing. I'd never guess you'd have such hidden depths. Tell me more.
That's quite enough.
Oh, that's absolutely adorable. So bashful. I simply must hear more of his poetry sometime soon.
See, I thought she was coming in here being a teacher who's like, oh, I see you've written something a little bit upsetting, a little bit that's showing that you've got some problems going on. Can I help? No, she was basically just poking and prodding and seeing what stuck. But that's alright. Hanneman, Dorothea, let's see what's up.
Professor Hanneman, how unexpected.
Hello, Miss Dorothea. There is something I would like to ask you, should you have a moment.
And whatever would that be, Professor?
Ah, it's just some rumor I heard about your prejudice against the nobility. You remember when you came to me before, and we talked about how I used to be noble? I was just wondering what your aim was.
To clarify, I only hate nobles who are obsessed with their status. You're not that kind of man, Professor. I mean that, really. And it sounds like you never were.
I see. But hating nobles obsessed with their status, you must have had some terrible experience in the past. Ah, my apologies. That was rather presumptuous.
No, it's fine. As I'm sure you know, I was a highly praised songstress for a time. Before I was a singer, though, I was an orphan. And before that, I was the daughter of a noble's maid.
My goodness! From an orphan to a renowned songstress. That is quite a life you have led, Miss Dorothea.
Well, I don't remember much of my early years. My father was never there, and my mother was driven out of the noble house where she worked. Before long, she fell ill. I was always alone, and I lived in the alleys of the imperial capital, just trying to survive from one day to the next.
I see.
Eventually, after I became a singer, I met the nobleman that I think is my father.
Oh.
He'd had a child with a maid, but the child didn't have a crest. So he threw them both away. Those were his very words. I can't prove that he really was my father, but I suppose it doesn't matter. He didn't know who I was. And when he flirted with me, my feelings were something beyond fury. I was dumbfounded. In truth, I felt that way about all of the nobles who flocked around me, yet would just as easily have tossed me away should it better suit them.
You have my most heartfelt of apologies, Dorothea. I am afraid my curiosity has opened old wounds. Sadly, it is undeniable that the nobility is full of such terrible people. Perhaps even myself.
Professor?
Oh, it is nothing. Just lost in a memory of my own. Just know that I will do my part to ensure that you always know kindness in this world.
Thank you.
So we have seen that one before. But yeah, I think I said this before, and I think it turned out to not be true. It definitely seems like there's a minor hint that Hanneman might be Dorothea's father. But I think the final one makes that not true. But I can't remember how, and that's good because, well, we'll get to find out again. Right. Let's go and explore. You know what's the nice thing about having a bad memory and playing story games? Is that you can just keep playing the same game over and over again and get the same revelations. It's like, my god, this is the thing that happened? You find out about 10 minutes before. Like, you know, we found out before, but hey, whatever. We get to find out again and get the same surprise. It's good. Right. I am going to change our outfit because we didn't change our outfit in the first one, and we should have. We could go for the servant's attire, I suppose. It's a little much, but we could go with it. What are we doing this month? We're attacking Edelgard. Probably something a little bit, you know, a little bit more, yeah, something like that could be good. Could also go Academy, which is our go-to. Academy with Cloak is quite a good one for if we want to dress up. Sure. That looks like we're ready to go to war. Right. And then we're going to do a little wander around. So, item. Grab it. Just think about what route we want to take. Let's go this way this time. Sorry, I pressed the wrong button to run. Hello.
10 years ago, Dagda and Bridget attacked the Empire from the west. Their final target was the capital, but they were countered at a port town long before they reached their destination. I guess our attempt has been more successful than theirs, all things considered.
Okay, so I guess they were going for the I guess if you capture the leader, then yeah, the rest of the place kind of falls down afterwards. That makes a lot of sense, yeah. Everyone will just fall in line at that point. Okay, so if they had managed to get there, the thing is, I'm like, if they had managed to get there, the Kingdom and the Alliance would surely have pushed back against them, right? Because the Empire managed to, and they would be trying to grab bits of the Empire for themselves along the way. Yeah, and the Knights, presumably, would also have gone off after them. Just interesting. Anyway, hello.
5 years ago, Edelgard said a thing to me. Bridget is a vassal of the Empire, but she also said I always have the freedom to be choosing whether I am with or not with her. I will become the ruler of Bridget. So she said I must make my own path. So now, my path and her path will be colliding.
Okay, Hilda?
Fighting in the capital? Ugh. And we're fighting against Edelgard. Double ugh. But with you leading us, Professor, I know we'll win. Yeah! Woohoo! Fighting! Woo! I'm a little scared, to be honest. I'm just shouting to relieve the tension, but I'll be fine.
Alright, well, I'll leave you be. Hello. Cyril and Aloise could go in the Axe one, as could Seteth. What's the reward? Silver Axe Plus. That's a heavy no from me. Because none of our Axe users are that, you know, into their axes currently.
Looks like we're nearing the end of this struggle. I'm sure Lady Rhea is on tenterhooks waiting for me to swoop in and rescue her.
Sure. Probably.
I was just kidding. Pay me no mind. Lady Rhea's not waiting for me, I know. No matter how much I might wish she were. She's waiting for you.
That does sound like a just kidding, you know, unless. That kind of thing. But anyway, nothing along there. Just looking for items. There's nobody in the classrooms because school's out. So, we'll leave that be. No item there. No item there. Cool. Heading out this way. There's an item. Grab it. Little arcane crystal. They're quite expensive, so that's a good get for us. Need to remember to get some more smithing stones while we're in town. Let's head over here. Hello.
Professor! My mother might be in the city.
Alright.
I don't have many good memories of her, if I'm being honest, but she's dearer to me than my father. If you happen to see her, please make sure she's not caught up in all the fighting. She's only a civil servant, so hopefully she takes a cue from her Bernie and stays inside.
Hopefully. But also, that seems a little unfair to her father after what we found out in Yuri's support. I mean, the fact that her father didn't send away people and wasn't just protective of her because of general protective stuff. He was, like, you know, doing it because people actually did try and kill her. So, you know, like, it wasn't unfounded protection. So, you know, maybe a little unfair, I'd say. But hey, can't really expect them to have gone back and read on that line just for that one potential way of reading it.
In the opera, actors came and went all the time, but the people behind the scenes would stay forever. I'll bet I'd know a few of them now, even after all these years. I wonder if they've left the capital. I certainly hope so.
Well, I mean, where else would you go? We've been over half the continent, so, you know, there's not really a lot of places they could have gone where they would have been 100% safe. Let's go for some more of these. Let's go for some more Northern Fódlan seeds. Cultivate to the max level. Northern Fódlan's the way to go. We got 3 yield on those. Okay. I went up here without actually checking. Yeah, there is Lindhart. That's alright. We'll do a run over. We'll get there eventually. Hello.
They used to call Enbar the city of Seiros. To assault it together with the knights is surreal. If Seiros were alive today, I wonder what she might make of our war. In Enbar, there was once a southern church, and apparently a bishop was dispatched to it. 100 years ago, the southern church became entangled in an insurrection. Until 5 years ago, the Empire and the church maintained a certain distance from one another.
Okay. He's just Mr. Lore, isn't he? At least right now. Right.
Yep.
We'll leave here. Oh, I like that little voice line. Yep. Nothing here. Nope. There we go. There's always one I miss on this side. Another arcane crystal. They are expensive. Still, same thing as last time. Expensive, so it's good that we get them.
Just recently, the fish in the pond suddenly started thrashing around like mad. I didn't know what was going on. Then I saw something gleaming in the southeastern sky. It happened right when you were out on campaign. I wonder what it could have been.
Southeastern sky, gleaming. Well, it must have been where the javelins of light came from. That's interesting. Okay. Hello.
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report.
I just noticed Balthus standing behind looking like, you know, looking like he's just spent the night out here. Hello.
Momentum's really picking up for this final battle, huh? Even I'm starting to feel tense. Me! Enbar's history goes back 1,400 years. That even predates the founding of the Empire. It's one of the sacred sites of the Seiros faith, so it's a pretty big deal. But hey, no need to worry about the monastery while you're fighting the final battle. I've got it covered. I'll defend it to my last.
You do that, Gatekeeper.
Hey!
Officially, like, the second most popular one this year in the vote. So, you know. Well, that wasn't already in Fire Emblem Heroes. I didn't want to do that one.
Come again.
I wanted to speak to this one.
Hello there.
Right. Hello. I would like
This
to
one,
buy
yes.
all of your smithing stones. Thanks.
I think this one, yes?
And all of your black sand steel,
think
even though we don't need it.
Return soon, please.
Hello.
Welcome.
I wish to sell you these bullions.
This one?
Yes.
Thank you. This one?
Plus those two.
Thank you.
Plus, do I have any on anyone? I didn't see any. I'm just gonna do another flick. Yeah, I didn't see
Please
any.
come again.
Okay, we should be good. Hey Anna, I need your do you have a quest?
There's unrest. I hope there's...
No. Okay, that's fine. We must not have finished hers.
Hello!
Hello. Do you not sell? Yeah, you sell the arcane crystals. How many do we have? We have 28. No, sorry, 27. 37. That's probably enough.
Tell
Yeah,
your friends.
37 is probably enough.
Hey.
Grab that. Hello.
The whole of the capital is going to be a battleground. The city has such a long heritage. Even so, perhaps it deserves to be reduced to ashes for once. But we can't let the common folk get hurt. We should try to confine the damage to the noble section of town.
Sorry, I just noticed that she's extremely low graphics right now. I was trying to fix it while we were there. Yeah, for some reason she's not really loaded in as much as everyone else. Maybe I'm going crazy.
Pardon me.
Hello. Yeah, like I'm comparing her face to his face. His is, like, you know, fully rendered. Interesting.
According to a merchant who just came from the Alliance, my little bro made it home in one piece. But House Albrecht lost a lot of troops. So did the nearby lords. Things are real bad over there. If we don't stop the Empire soon, there won't be anyone left to help fight them off.
That brings me back to the Dagda thing that we were having before. Like the... Oh, I guess we should also get the one at lower bit. But, like, we're effectively doing the same thing that they were doing. because we are going for the capital, even though there's like a large army that we still need to fight off. But if we take the capital, then the rest will just fall in line. Okay. Hello.
Here we are, facing the final battle with the Empire. It's been a long, difficult struggle. We have to get Lady Rhea back. And we have to crush the Empire in the name of Captain Gerald. I don't know what comes next, but we can sort out those details later.
Sure. Sure, we'll sort out those details later.
Pardon me.
I believe there is another chapter after this chapter, because I believe it's the same one that's in Verdant Wind, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm like 90, 80, something like that.
Some of my soldier friends departed for Empire territory a few days ago.
Okay, sorry, I was distracted by your hat and I thought you still had more stuff to say. That's a cool hat.
They wore trader clothes and hid their weapons in their luggage, so that even if they encounter patrols, they won't arouse suspicion. Another squad dressed as traveling artists. It's like a game of dress-up, but with lives at stake.
Okay, hello.
It's such a relief that we've made it this far without having to fight my father.
You'll have to face him at some point.
Hey, don't try and scare me. If he turns up as a reinforcement during the assault, we might lose. I'd better make my peace with that.
So that's kind of hinting that he might, but I don't remember his father ever turning up in the game. And it would be odd if he's only in one route, so yeah, I don't know if he will. I think it might just be his own personal worries. Right, in here. That person said it inconvenienced that I, the main character, walked in front of them. Really?
Hello there.
And then as I walk out again, he's like, "Oh no, it's the guy with the sword. Better say hello, otherwise, you know, you never know what might happen. Just keep him happy, smiling and nodding, you know. Hello." Yep. Hey dog. What's up? I was gonna pet the dog. It's not working today. That's fine, we'll move on. Bridge.
Professor.
Right.
Hello, Flane.
I was born in Enbar. My mother and father met in a church there. Not too long after, I was brought into the world. I do not understand how war can happen in such a precious place. It is most regrettable.
Alright then. I always find it weird having the conversations on the bridge because all the music is off. It's just like, alright, everything stop and talk. Hello.
Invading the capital and smashing the Empire. I wonder if doing so could really end this war. Care to share your thoughts, Professor?
I think it'll end the war.
You say that with such confidence. I want to believe that it's true. Although for now, better to focus my efforts on the fight at hand.
Yes, you were very useful in the last fight, Lysithia. However, I believe you're not invited to the next one. I mean, unless there's like 14 people, in which case, you know, hey, come along.
We're about to put the finishing touches on this war.
I forgot you were even recruited.
I wonder how Fódlan will look without the backdrop of death and destruction. I can't wait to see it. On the other hand, I'm terrified of what the future might hold. Who knows if I'll survive the assault on the capital?
You will 100% survive. You're not coming. You're not even invited. You know, problem solved.
We're forming small units and slowly sneaking into the Empire's territory. That allows us to conceal ourselves along the path of the main army's progress, so that by the time we reach the capital, we can all join forces again. However, if any of the units are discovered before we can rendezvous, the whole plan is a bust. I'm sure it will work out, though. The Empire seems to think we've abandoned our plans to invade, so they're likely not keeping as close a watch.
Interesting. So we're basically expanding the plan from last time.
The Empire's army should be divided now, with significant troops still in the west. If they don't assert their authority over the Old Kingdom's lords, they'll never know when an uprising might start. Ironically, as soon as we capture the Imperial capital, the Old Kingdom's lords are likely to rise up immediately.
Okay, yeah, that is true. If we capture the capital, take out the leader, the kingdom will suddenly jump into the war, at which point, you know, it all kind of changes. Because they have no alliance to the Empire, essentially, so they have no reason to keep their troops on the Empire's side unless the Empire's gonna win. Anyway, hello.
Ever since the Empire declared war on the Church, we have lost all contact with the priests and monks who are in the Imperial capital. I expect there's nothing we can do but pray for their safety. But realistically, it's probably too late.
Alright then. So you're having a good day. I'll see you later. I noticed we missed somebody, so I'm going to go out and get them. Which does ruin our route slightly, but I get to check this on the way past. Hello.
So if we win the war, will you become the ruler of Fódlan?
That's the plan for me. That might be the case.
You seem unsure, so I guess anything is possible. For what it's worth, I think you'd make a good ruler. You could bring peace to the land.
Okay, sure. That's one way of looking at it. Hello, Raphael.
We're heading up to Embar next. I hope I make it back safe so I can tell my little sis about it.
I hear they got a neat opera house there, where Manuela used to perform. What was it called again?
It's the Ottenfrank? Mittelfrank? Opera company. I mixed opera and Mittelfrank.
That's the one. My little sis always goes on about how much she'd like to see him perform. I know we can't see a show, but do you think we could at least see the building?
Well, I mean, I can. Again, just like with Ignatz, you're not invited, but, you know, in the sense that we would see the building, in that one of us two would see it, yes, we could. There's only one person in here, and it's Lorenz, so we can speak to him and do the box. I'd like to have a duel with you where we're both giving it our all, but I suspect if we cross blades without holding anything back, one of us would end up dead. Well, Catherine, the hero's relics truly are that powerful. I guess he wanted something like we wouldn't use our sword against an ally. I was also told, again, that we could potentially use this to gain support levels and not just to sing, but hey, you know what? Why ruin a good thing?
This is no good. Sing from your diaphragm. Lo! Get it? Lo!
Tra-la-la-la-la, sing out over peaks, ring out over valleys, let my lovely voice echo through the streets and alleys.
Fantastic. Hey, we almost have an S on Manuela, which I think gives her something that we don't need in any way, but that's alright.
I'm from the Empire myself, and I still have some relatives in Embar. I hope they get out in time, but I've no way of contacting them. I guess all I can do is pray they're not harmed.
Did you not just put a message on top of your hat? It seems like it's tall enough that they'd be able to see it from wherever they are. Like, anyway. Hello.
I have been to the kingdom capital before, but never to the imperial one. They say it is the biggest city in all Fódlan, so we will no doubt have many civilians to worry about. I hope we can preserve the city. If it is destroyed in the battle, the people will face hardship. I would say we should avoid the use of excessive force, but I suppose that hinges upon the Empire's terms of engagement.
Is using Hanneman counted as excessive force? Because I think we're going to do that either way. Right. Nobody's out here. We have them being told off. And we have one who is just around in here, and there we go.
So,
one step away.
A magnificent canal flows through downtown Embar. It's said to have been constructed under the guidance of Saint Seros before the Empire was even formed. Ever since, that canal has been a major lifeline for the capital's development. And now this is how the Empire repays it. Truly, no good deed goes unpunished.
Okay. Let's head up here. Yeah, I'm just working out the route. So we immediately want to get out of the library. Although there is a monk here.
Hi there! Embar is where the divine Seros, sent by the goddess, first appeared before mankind. Saint Seros then worked countless miracles there and offered guidance to the people. That's why Embar is considered a holy place for the Church of Seros.
Oh, thank you. The more you know. What's funny is that if we were in this world, that sounds like it would just be common information that everybody knows. But because we're not, it's like, oh, that's a useful piece of lore. Otherwise, it's just her just telling us, you know, the sky is blue.
Whenever I think about how we'll be seeing Lady Rhea real soon, I get happy and really get cleaning. We'll get there for sure, right? We'll see her again?
We'll meet her for sure, Cyril.
I just gotta believe Lady Rhea is waiting for us in the capital. We just have to find her.
See you later. Right, hen round here. Is there anybody in this room? Just thought I'd do a little check before we go anywhere further. Nope. Okay. And in here?
Professor, at last, the end is nigh. I love the Empire. Part of me wants it to survive, but I know that is not reasonable. The Empire's time has come. What we need now is a mighty leader who can rebuild Fódlan and rule it as a single nation. Nonetheless, it saddens me that we will not have an Adrestian Emperor.
Okay. You seem to have gotten over your father dying rather quickly.
The information about Lady Rhea being held in the Imperial capital came from an Imperial soldier at Mercius? We can't discount the possibility that the enemy's feeding us fake information on purpose.
They could be feeding us real information on purpose as well, which would be actually a worse situation. But they're so confident that feeding us the real information is not going to change our plan. Like, it's not going to cause their plans to fail. Like, they want us to go to the capital because they believe that they will defeat us.
Still, we can only move forward. It's all on you, Professor.
Alright. Let's go
Professor.
up here and speak to Hanneman.
Enbar's streets are paved with unhappy memories, Professor. I've avoided the damned place ever since I abandoned my nobility. Swore never to return. Now here we are. To return in this manner. Well, I can't say it is something I ever imagined.
Yeah, interesting. Nothing there. Hello.
Professor, we're finally going to the capital. This will be my chance to avenge Captain Gerald. Once we smash the Empire, I'm sure his soul will finally be able to rest in peace.
Well, I think you're right.
Monica killed Captain Gerald for the Flame Emperor, and the Flame Emperor was Edelgard. I know that the future of all Fódlan rests on this battle. Nothing else is more important. But for me, this is personal. For Captain Gerald's sake, I'm going to give it all I've got and more.
I'm kind of interested what Leonie says if she's on the other side. Because she can be recruited in the Crimson Flower route. So it'd be a very odd one because this entire line of reasoning would just go out the window. Which is interesting. Unless, of course, she's like, she just hates those who slither in the dark instead of hating Edelgard, which would be possible.
Rhea will be somewhere in the city. I wonder if she can sense us coming. If we are able to save her, then I expect you will learn many secrets that have hitherto been kept from you.
Oh, really? Will I? Will I, Seteth? I'll learn secrets. I'm sorry to not believe you, but this game is, it tells us no secrets at any point.
Are you prepared for that?
I am.
Excellent. The battle will soon be upon us. Let us both be at our best for what is to come.
Yeah, I bet we get no secrets whatsoever. Nobody is on floor 3. However, I am going to go down to Abyss right away because I want to not miss out on talking to anybody. So this seems like a good time to go there.
Thank you.
I also want to check out the fortune teller because I believe that the Catherine Shamir one we got should override any other one. Like, it should override any other ones we got for either of them because it's an A+, and I don't know if either of them have one. So it'd be interesting just to see whether we've got like that ending.
Hey you, listen up. I've got something to report. Remember that battle 6 years ago? Oh, I'm guessing you do. Anyway, remember that knight who watched over Abyss with me for a while? I've been on the hunt for his whereabouts, and I finally found out what happened to him. My friend is no longer with us. Dead. Figured as much, but now I know for sure. I did get to meet his big sister at least. I'll never have the chance to thank him for our time together. But maybe I can find a way to help out his sister instead. Bet he would have liked that.
Yeah.
Those lights that came down on Mercius. I might have seen them before. Here at Garreg Mach. They looked like they'd rained down right on top of us. But at the last moment, they veered off. I think they crashed into ALL. Must have been the goddess's blessing that protected us.
Sorry. ALL? How old are you, hermit? Wait a second. ALL? Not that one. No. No. Wait, none of these might be. I don't think it's actually this library that has the information I'm looking for in it. So, the fact that it went off to ALL, was that not ages ago? Because I thought the ALL stuff was like a long time ago. No, I don't think it's this one. Okay, we might need to go to the other library, because I think that hermit just revealed something.
What do you
Actually, I don't think it's in the other library either. Yeah, I got the feeling that ALL was like way in the past.
I
Like,
expect much from this one. Yes, indeed.
that's pretty good. I love her magic is a 1-star despite being her best stat. It's like
Fairly
interesting.
well.
But yeah, I got the feeling that ALL was a long time ago, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was within like the last 100 years that it became a fiery doomscape. But I got the feeling that it was like, you know, thousands of years ago, which would mean that hermit is thousands of years old, which would mean
See you again
that
soon.
the hermit is somebody like important of some kind. Who the hermit is, who knows, but still, it's interesting.
No, please. You can't tell anyone you saw me here. I'm in hiding from the army.
I'm the leader of the army.
I couldn't stand the war, the violence. I had to get away. But now that I've deserted, I can't go home. Justice, ambition, what does any of that matter if you're dead? I just want to live. Is that so wrong?
Well, you know, I guess we don't think it is, as we aren't able to do anything about it. Steel sword, rusted sword, iron bow plus. Iron bow plus is really good, but I think we already have enough. Hello, Wayseer.
Why, hello there.
Hello there. So we got Hanneman, Balthus, Happy, Constance. Just seeing, where is the... Yeah, Shamir Catherine is actually around the same level as Shamir Cyril. Interesting. You can see the big ones are like Seteth, Flane. Like that's a huge one. Okay. Interesting.
Come back soon now.
So I'm wondering what specifically triggers that. So her and Cyril, yeah, they don't even A level. So it might just be, as I believe the way it works by default is that the first person you get an A level with is who you get the ending with. So, yeah, I'm not sure if that's still the case, but maybe it's saying like, if the two had already got a thing, and they happen to have a plus or something. You know, let me have a look at Hanneman and Manuela. No, they only have the base A, but theirs is the highest. So I wonder why theirs is maybe it's because there's no conflicting fates? Like there's no better fate for them to match or something? I don't know.
I hear there was a pretty spectacular battle up there recently, but we don't hear a lot about that stuff. There was a lot of talk when it first started, but 5 years on, it's just a fact of life. What? There have been lots of battles on the surface recently? I hadn't heard. See what I mean?
Interesting. Hello, you three.
Is it true what they say? That the Archbishop is a captive of the Empire? I've never heard of anything so brash in all the Empire's long history. It is vexing that Lady Edelgard's true motives elude me. If only I still had noble connections to draw on. The loss of my house has proven to be a thorn in my side again and again.
Hello.
The Kingdom and the Alliance both came out of the last fight looking battered and broken. If the Empire is wiped out too, then who's left to run the joint?
Me.
I guess the next leader of Fódlan could be you. I'd be pretty psyched about that.
Alright. Hello.
The Kingdom and I guess...
Nope. Hello.
Feels like a death wish. Attacking the Imperial capital like this. You don't really think we're going to beat the Empire with these paltry forces, do you?
I do.
Is that so? Oh, how I love your resolve.
Alright, well, we'll leave there. I don't believe we have anyone else to talk to. We'll do a last little run round, see if we got something that's missing. Nope. Okay. I'm going to fast travel back to the monastery. I'm kind of tempted to go and have a look at the library very quickly. Because all we have to do is look at history of Fódlan and it should be able to tell us about the ALL stuff. If it was ever in there. Yeah. Because if it was more recent, surely more people would have heard of it than just this one hermit. Yeah, because it's kind of implied that the reason why they weren't hitting Garreg Mach was because Rhea was here. But... Anyway, just thinking about it. So, they should be... This will be 5, right? This Traveler's Journal. So I want to be here. Book of Saros 2. I don't see any ALL stuff. I know Xanadu was the one that you see in the very start of the game. Book of Saros 5. So I think, yeah, it's the other Book of Saros is downstairs. So it's none of them. That's Register of Nobles. Register of Nobles. These are all registers of nobles. This one. History of Fódlan. Nemesis. Blah blah blah. Adrestian Empire. Adrestian Empire. Adrestian Empire. See, that's Gronder Fields. Sorry, that was the Nemesis one that you see at the start. Xanadu was the one that you get in the flashback with Sothis when you do her paralogue. Tailteen Plains. Okay, so it must be after that. So that's part 1 again. Wait, was it part 1 I wanted? What was part 1 I want? No, I want part 2. I read part 1 first time by accident. There we go. That's fine. So that's Dagden. Bridget Dagda. Bridget and Dagda. Bridget and Dagda. Luke. Wait, so that's Luke. Yeah. Okay, Luke. That's fine. Leicester Alliance. King Klaus. And Leicester Alliance. Leicester Alliance. Yeah, Almiran invasions. Okay. So it's not mentioned as a time period in any of that. Okay. So it could be within the last 100 years, I suppose. Which would mean that the hermit could have seen it if he... Well, let's say last 50 years. It could have been there. More people might know about it, but maybe people just... It was like, you know, it's on fire now. Don't go there. And everyone went, alright then, I'm with you. Anyway, I'm going to end the episode here. Thank you for watching. Next time, we've got a lot of eating to do. And we'll see where that takes us. So, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.